A big decision today. A new Fayette County Public School superintendent was hired today.
Was this not perfect timing?
Hundreds celebrate equality in downtown Lexington a day after a landmark ruling from the Supreme Court. And the manhunt continues for one of two prison escapees in upstate New York. Tonight, police have narrowed their search for the convicted killer.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
Fayette County schools have a new leader. Thanks for watching WKYT. I'm Kristen Kennedy. After hours of deliberation today, the school board unanimously selected Manny Kalk to lead the state's second largest school district. Kalk previously served as superintendent of the Portland Public Schools in Maine. WKYT's Monique Blair talks to the school board chair about the selection in our top story at 6.
The decision was announced just about 2 hours ago. In a unanimous vote, the Fayette County School Board decided to hire 43-year-old Manny Kalk as the Fayette County Public Schools' new superintendent.
The decision brings closure to a week of public forums, community receptions, and constituent interview panels. School Board Chair John Price says Kalk had the support of the board and the community and was simply the best fit. Kalk has been the superintendent of the Portland Public Schools, Maine's largest school district, since 2012. Prior to that, he served as the assistant superintendent in Philadelphia.
He's very realistic. He says that it's going to take us time, but he talks about the way we get there.
Price says Kalk's life experiences show his value in education and will teach students once they set their mind to something, they can achieve their goals.
He has 3 degrees. He's an attorney. He will finish his PhD doctorate in education in December. And at points in his lifetime in the past, he was homeless. He grew up in a housing project. So I think his life is a reflection of the value of education.
Kalk's starting salary is set at $240,000. Price says the board made their decision today because they didn't want to let Kalk get away. As Kalk addressed a crowd Wednesday, he explained his mission.
And that's what I have been and will continue to be, is really a champion for all children, making sure every student gets what he or she not only deserves, but what he or she needs.
As Mr. Kalk and his family make their move from Portland, Maine to Lexington, I'm told he hopes to start as soon as possible, but he will definitely start no later than the first day of school, which is August 12th. In Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Kalk's contract runs through June 30th, 2019. The final terms are still under negotiation. We're tracking a break in the summer heat. Storms have moved out and cooler temperatures are here to stay through the weekend. WKYT's Mike Linden joins us with an early look at the forecast. Hey, Mike.
Oh, hey, Kristen. It does not necessarily feel like summer out there today. The entire month we've been hot, humid. There have been rounds and rounds of storms, but today feels more like September, let alone the end of the month of June. This is what we're looking at on Live First Alert Defender. Not too much going on the radar right now, as there has been some rainfall that has worked its way through the bluegrass, but most of that has pushed off toward the east. Of course, this is all behind a cold front now that, as that continues to jut off to our east, cooler air can settle into the bluegrass, and with cooler air, that means clearing skies. So if you looked outside earlier this morning, you probably saw some pretty thick, rather daunting looking clouds, but right now you can see those breaks in the sky, and that is going to make for a cooler evening, as most spots struggle to even get into the 70s today, especially in northern Kentucky. But most of the state got right back to the lower 70s today, with Fayette County topping out near 72. That is much cooler than where we've been lately, let alone much more comfortable considering the fact that humidity has been so high. But as that cooler, drier air settles in, well, Kristen, it should make for a beautiful Tuesday. I'll break it all down coming up in about 10 minutes.
Mike, many are calling the Supreme Court's decision perfect timing. Gay pride festivals are taking place across the country this weekend, including in Lexington, following yesterday's historic ruling legalizing same-sex marriages in all 50 states. The gatherings are now celebrating equality instead of calling for it. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is downtown at Lexington Pride.
Hundreds filled downtown Lexington for the city's 8th annual Pride Festival, and those here say they have a little extra reason to celebrate.
With plenty to do at the festival, from listening to live music to checking out local food vendors, those who come year after year say it is always a special event.
It's not even about if you're gay, straight, it doesn't matter. It's about people getting together and being a part of something that's truly amazing. It's about everybody being able to be who they are.
With Pride Day 2015 coming just a day after the Supreme Court ruling in favor of same-sex marriage.
Talk about perfect timing. Was this not perfect timing for the Pride Day today? Hey guys, woo!
A decision Lexington Mayor Jim Gray applauded while kicking off the Pride Day events.
The word historic doesn't even really come close to describing how so many of us felt about the Supreme Court's ruling yesterday. But talk about inspiration for all across our land and right here in Lexington.
And the festival's events here outside of the courthouse run until about 9 o'clock tonight. In Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Pride Day wraps up tonight with the concert starting at 8 o'clock outside the courthouse. The manhunt for an escaped killer intensified today after law enforcement officers shot and killed his partner Friday. Police believe David Sweat is still in an area about 30 miles west of the Clinton Correctional Facility in upstate New York. As CBS's Kenneth Gregg reports, authorities say they are closing in on Sweat.
Police armed with rifles patrolled checkpoints in Malone Saturday. It's about 30 miles from the Clinton Correctional Facility where Richard Matt and David Sweat escaped 3 weeks ago. Authorities believe Sweat is still hiding somewhere in these woods. Residents are taking extra precautions.
This is our little town. We never lock our doors or windows, or now we kind of have to because you don't know where he's going to be.
Search teams cornered Matt near a cabin Friday following a report that a man's camper had been shot. Police say the escapee was armed and refused to surrender.
You never want to see anyone lose their life, but I would remind people that Mr. Matt was an escaped murderer from a state prison.
Police believe they are closing in on Sweat. They say he is now alone, desperate, and could make a mistake leading to his capture.
Relief that they got one, but still nervous waiting for them to catch the other one.
As the police dragnet tightens in Malone, residents are on edge.
You become concerned that it's a little too close to home.
Police are being cautious as they pursue Sweat. He was convicted of murdering a sheriff's deputy. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, Malone, New York.
Investigators still consider Sweat armed and dangerous. Police in South Carolina arrested 2 people today after one of them climbed the 30-foot flagpole outside the State House and removed the Confederate flag. Controversy about the flag ignited last week following the massacre of 9 people at a Charleston church. Police arrested a man and woman from Charlotte. Both are charged with defacing a monument. The couple has bonded out of jail. South Carolina's governor has called for the flag to be removed from the State House, but the removal requires a vote by the legislature. Still no arrest tonight after a stabbing in downtown Lexington that happened early this morning on North Broadway near West Main. Police went out to report of a fight, and when they arrived, they found a man who they say someone stabbed in the stomach. His injuries are non-life-threatening. Police say the victim did know his attacker. Investigators are not releasing his name. Lexington police have made a quick arrest in an early morning burglary. Officers were on patrol around 5 this morning on Ransom Avenue when they heard glass breaking. Officers told us they saw a burglar walk out of the back of the home with a television. They arrested that person and charged him with burglary. Right now, they're not releasing his name. For the second time in 2 days, firefighters in Clark County have had to battle flames at the same home. Fire crews returned to the home on Colby Road early this morning after the fire reignited. Firefighters first responded to the home Friday morning after a lightning strike caused a fire. Crews were able to save part of the home after the first fire, but we're not sure how much damage the second fire caused. Friends and family will begin saying goodbye tomorrow to a Kentucky State Police trooper killed in the line of duty. Trooper Eric Chrisman died Tuesday night after his cruiser hit a tractor trailer near the Marshall-Livingston County line. The 23-year-old grew up in Anderson County. He graduated from the State Police Academy 6 months ago. Christmas visitation is at 3 tomorrow afternoon and again at 9 Monday morning at Nineveh Christian Church in Lawrenceburg. The funeral will be at 11 Monday morning at the church. A Lexington couple wants to help veterans dealing with PTSD. George and Kelly Mead's son Michael committed suicide last year after serving as a Marine in Iraq and Afghanistan. His parents blame his suicide on PTSD. Now they want to make sure other families don't go through the same thing. The Meads are starting a peer-to-peer support group called Vet Life Kentucky, which allows veterans who are struggling to meet and talk with others. To help with the launch, they put together a motorcycle ride today that's raising funds for the group.
This is all about the combat veteran. This is all about the combat veteran and saying thank you in a lot of ways. It's about supporting those who provide us the freedoms that we enjoy in this nation.
Today they rode to and from Camp Nelson National Cemetery, where Michael Mead is buried. The first meeting for the group is tomorrow at Crossroads Christian Church in Lexington. The meeting starts at 5 p.m. Organizers say it will be a weekly event.